He's taking some shots, making progress.
Yeah, very encouraging. Happy for Corey. You guys got a chance to talk to him earlier. He's excited to get back. I know he's getting closer, but we're trying to be patient with that. And but very promising with where he's at now. It's been, I think he talked about it. It's been a long road for him, but things are looking up.
Stan, is that closer to practicing or closer to playing?
Well, you have to practice before you can play, right? So closer to practicing.
It's a small thing, but what went into the decision to disclose injuries now?
Good question, Mark. I think we're trying to, I guess, sort of change with the times, maybe. It's always that balance between respecting the players. At the end of the day, this is their injuries; they're not our injuries. So we're trying to, but we understand the world that we live in today. People want to know, and they care about our team, and they care about the players individually. They want to know. So it's sort of that balance. We're trying to respect the players' right to privacy, but also, the fans and the media's interest in knowing what's going on. So I think in this case, it's progress in the right direction.
Do you feel like it's?
Stay tuned, possibly.
Do you feel like you're more able to do this? It's not the NHL of the 60s, 70s, and 80s where people might take a run at people when they know where they're injured. That there's more respect for the player. The players have more respect for each other now than maybe they've been.
Yeah, I think it's just it's a process. I mean, things change as much as things don't change. I think in that regard, the game's much different than it was. All you got to do is look at a game from 25 years ago, and it's so much faster now, and things happen quickly. So, yeah, that's not really so much an issue anymore. It's more, trying to give. It's an information world right now, like instant information, and you guys live that as your job is to cover the team and chronicle what's happening, and the fans want to know. So, we're trying to understand that.
Corey couldn't recall this. When did he get injured?
The specific injury?
Yeah, the concussion. Was it on that date when he was removed from the game on December 23rd?
I think he said it wasn't that game, but I think at this point we're trying to go back in time. We are where we are. It's not going to change anything to his status. The best part about listening to what Corey said was just the fact that he feels optimistic and upbeat about his condition and his readiness to play. He's trending in the right direction, and we'll just stick with it.
And by disclosing injuries, does it curtail the speculation that goes around?
You'll have to tell me. We were never the ones that speculated. That was you guys did that, so I guess we'll see.
Talk a little bit about the Tyler Murphy injury when that happened and how that opens up, obviously, a spot for somebody to take it.
Right. Yeah, we just found out. We had our medicals yesterday, and we just found out. Sometimes that happens. Unfortunately, it's he's been training hard, and it just popped up. So it wasn't like one specific event that caused it. I guess it was just he got evaluated, and he's not ready to play. So opportunity-wise, I think it's going to give a chance for some of those. Some younger players potentially, or some new players. We have Brandon Davidson here on a tryout. Brandon Manning's a new defenseman. Obviously, we have the young guys, Yokoharu and Boquist and Dahlstrom, and on. There's a lot of guys there. Blake Hillman ended the year with us. So we've got a lot of candidates, and I think that's what's exciting about the first day of camp and the first games next week. Is going to be, let's see which guy earns that spot. There's certainly opportunity there for players to play well, and as a player, that's what you're looking for. Is if they're leaving the rink today knowing, well, if I come and do a better job than everyone else, I'm going to be here, and that's what competition's all about.
Are you a little bit? I mean, a lot of people would point to Yokoharu having the advantage or being the guy who would possibly take that spot. But are you wary at all about putting a 19-year-old in, maybe especially as a defenseman?
No, I don't think you can make rules like that. I mean, that would be sort of pointless. Whoever deserves to be there, whether he's 19 or 23, age isn't so much a factor. I think looking around the league, young players are playing in a lot of different positions. It's certainly more challenging as a defenseman just because it's a complex position. It's you're before the goalie, you're the last line of defense right there, and I guess mistakes made by forwards don't get maybe focused as much as it makes mistakes by defensemen, but they happen. Even to our Norris Trophy winners make mistakes. It's part of hockey. So I think as a young player, you have to have that confidence that you got to play your game, and you understand you're not going to play a perfect game every single time out, but you want to do more good than bad.
Has there been any determination on Henry's possible AHL eligibility?
No, because at this point, if that only comes into play if he's not going to be in Chicago. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, obviously you'll have a little better idea once these games start, but when you met at the end of the season with especially the core guys you're asking to come back strong, you and Q and Goodman, how do you feel about the work they've done so far over the summer, how they came back in the shape they were in, and adjustments they're making to today's game too?
Yeah, well, to a man, they all, understood it was an important summer, and they put in a lot of work. This is the best conditioned group I've ever seen. These guys came back in phenomenal shape, and they certainly trained hard, and I think they took it as a challenge. They want to get back to the levels that they're used to. So they did their part, and they certainly did everything you can do over the summer, which is take care of your body, prepare yourself, train hard, and they came in to camp ready to do that. So now is the next step. And it's hard to make improvements on your conditioning and your physicality and your strength during the season, because the season wears you down with games, and starting today, it's a long grind. So if you hadn't made those improvements over the summer, you're sort of caught. You have no time to catch up. So every one of our players came in great shape. So that's good news, and now it's time to get on the ice.
You usually don't go into the season with this much cap space. What do you see the options with that now?
Well, part of that is looking around at the other players that might be available. I mean, it's day one of camp, so I think as we get into the next 2 to 3 weeks, other teams are their situations will change, some for the better, some for the worse, and if there's ways to improve our team, we aren't going to be blocked out by a cap reason for doing it. So now it's just going to be the players that are available. Are they better? Are they going to make our team better? It's too early to tell on that, but that's a possibility as we get into the next couple weeks.
You've talked a lot about Nick Schmaltz's next contract. Is that something you're willing to negotiate during the season? You'd like to get done sooner than later?
I guess it's possible. I think I understand why there's curiosity on that, but I think we're not going to be having sort of daily volleys on that. If we want to sign him during the season, we will, and we would announce it. But until that happens, we're not going to try to negotiate kind of through the media.
What are your thoughts about a couple of the trades that were just made? Carlson to San Jose, Pacioretty to Vegas. Does it put any more pressure on you to maybe make a move?
I think I don't think that's the way to handle it. Like, if you're reactionary and you're doing something because you're just trying to keep up with another team, those typically don't go well, around the league. You have to do what makes sense for your team, the situation you're in. So I don't believe in making a move just because 2 other teams made moves. But, it's our job to try to make our team better. So if it's with this group, then talking to our coaches, they're going to do everything they can to make this team the best version it can be. And if there's ways we can bring in different players, then we'll look at that too. But it won't be a reactionary type move.
As a GM, does that put you in the minority or the majority? Because Doug Wilson basically said this was, hey, we're looking around and we need to make a move. It's kind of the opposite of what you just said. What side of that do you think you fall on?
Well, I haven't really polled the other GM, so I don't know if I'm in the minority or not. But I think you have to do. That's the way we've always operated, though. Even in the past, where we've made a lot of big moves and we've made significant trades, and it was because we thought it was something that made sense for our team. It wasn't really in reaction to another team. There might be different factors at play. For Doug, I can't speak to that. That's what he said, so that's the way that they approached it. But we're going to approach it as trying to make the best short and long-term decisions. It's balancing both. Sometimes you're focused only on the present, and sometimes you're trying to do both.
What are your thoughts on that?
Corey's not able to go to start the regular season. Are you comfortable with where your goalie depth chart is?
I am. I think, with Cam coming in, we talked about this a little bit over the summer, and at the time when we signed him, that he's got a wealth of experience, and he's going to be able to handle the load of being a number 1 guy if that's what's called upon. And as of right now, that's what it looks like. But that can change as Corey progresses towards that role. So, but it's nice knowing that we've got a guy that's got hundreds of games under his belt, and he's played in pressure situations. He knows the taxing role of being a number one goalie. Part of it's physical, but a lot of it's mental. And I think, and he's able to do that. So we're looking for Anton as well to take the next step. He had some really good moments last year. The consistency wasn't there, but great couple months to start the season. I thought Anton was excellent. And then, like I just said, it's hard when you're looked upon like you got to be the guy. And I think so. We're looking for him to grow in that. He'll have responsibility as well. So Colin Delia ended last year on a high note. Got a little bit of NHL action, and then he had a strong playoff. So I think we have a number of guys there that could contribute, and we're looking for one of those guys to step forward and say, "I'm the guy."
Taves was saying it says so much about what Vegas was able to do. They were so underestimated, and look what they did. And do you want that mentality in this team, that they feel like underdogs and they feel like they have so much to prove and like they have a chip on their shoulder? Is that something you hope for them?
Well, we certainly have things to prove. Whether you're considered an underdog or not, that's for other people to decide. It really matters to our team is to have that intensity that you want to compete and you want to get back to the highest level you can. So, yeah, looking at where we are now, I think you want to prove to people that that you can be that kind of team, and it comes from within. And we want our guys to push one another. I think, at the end of the day, teams win. The individual players, as much as we want, certain players to step forward, one or two or three players doesn't make a team. We've got to come together, and the best way to be in a successful team is for each player to be the best version of themselves they can be. So it really is it's on the group collectively, but it's on each guy to bring it every day, and it started today, and I thought we had a great first day, and leading into the next week, we'll get to see some game action.
Stan, do you think that your championship window to win a Stanley Cup with the core that you have now is open? And if so, why?